So I realized as, God was revealing to me how I was dividing my time. 40 days and 40 nights, by the time you look up, he didn't show me a pie chart. All right, so you like numbers, right? You like list, right? Let me give you a pie chart because you're trying to come over here with me, right? Because I want you to know, before you come over here, you need to know what you got to give up to come over here. And because you want to speak in numbers, I'm going to reveal this grand pie chart to you. This is how you are currently using your time. My book says make me number one. Okay, you put me number one, and all the rest will follow in order. Proverbs 3:5-6. Lean not on your own understanding, but seek me in all your ways, and I will make your paths clear. He said that, right? Just make me number one, and you will find peace throughout the rest of your day. Now, there's going to be people at your intersection, at your roundabout, which they notifications, whatever, right? I ain't promising you that it's not going to be there. It's going to be there, right? Because my kingdom is so, it feels so good. You got to work for it. Like, I don't be letting everybody in the VIP, right? But I give you a choice. You work for it, you can get that golden ticket, pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but you got to work for it. You can't just be straddling the fence. It ain't got to be perfect, but every night I started putting beet juice in my body. It was heart juice, right? Heart juice, heart juice, heart juice, My partner, Larry, loving to death, exposed me to heart juice. I didn't want no heart juice, beet juice. Looked at him like, you drink that? I didn't want it when I met him. But you know how much benefit is in beet juice? Beet juice work on your heart. It's just one of the benefits. My girlfriend, Dawn May, she didn't know really much about Jesus before she met me. We landed in Bible study tonight. I offered her some beet juice and she accepted. She fell in love with it. She saw all the benefits of beet juice. Ooh, it started working your heart immediately if you switched it out with Kool-Aid. If you switch your Kool-Aid with beet juice, you can immediately, guaranteed, call now and we'll double the offer, So it's like, when you get that, I'm trying to sound like that just because that's how they sound like on the infomercials, right? But when you switch out your beet juice and you start intaking beet juice and putting down the Kool-Aid, you start working on your heart, right? Figuratively. And Dawn May took the beet juice and it started working on her heart real fast because she was consistent with it, right? She kept going for home base. She was coming back up she was at bat 3 or 4 times before I was even like, yeah, I'm back in the dugout. I'll be back. Just wait. I'm going to go practice on myself. And anxiety comes from worrying about who's getting the home base before you, right? Worrying about what's at the next turn and it's OPP. Other people's problems. My issue was, or just like family issues or whatever it was, I'm having a hard time rebuilding it myself, but, anxiety comes from worrying about who getting the home base from before you. This is how it felt for me when I'm trying to come over here, because I knew I was giving up something, right? I knew I had to give up something. And I didn't feel any envy for Dawn May getting a home base before I did, living what I'm picturing right now that I want. I looked at it with love, LOVE, and I wanted to emulate that. I wanted to emulate that because she was doing it for God, and I wanted to do it for God. Not for the gram. I wanted to do it for God, not for the gram. Wasn't trying to do it for flesh. I was like, you know what? And when I started working on it, I said, I ain't gonna stop until I get to home base. And I'm gonna be so good, right? I'm gonna handle the things at the roundabout because I'm shielded. And I know it's gonna try to get at me in other different directions, right? Notifications set to on. Please notify me whenever Satan posts. Or please notify me whenever I can see something that reminds me that I'm straddling the fence. Facebook allows you to have up to 5 before it says, no, that's your limit. 5, honor thy father and thy mother is number 5 on Facebook. I swear, I put that on my Bible. Real talk. I'm going to say real talk. Take that back. Facebook allows you to follow 5 top pages where you see them first. And after that, it's a gamble, depending on the highest bidder. Who's paying the most money to distract you? And that's what's going to show up on your timeline. And you think sometimes, I thought sometimes it just came by way of advertisement, sponsored ads. You could tell, we didn't got slick. I'm going to scroll right on past that one. Didn't catch me this time. But I know what your friend did last night. Right? Guess what? And I know, because I'm at the mound, I know what your friend been looking up on his or her phone, right? Your circle. The people who we've decided we want you to hear from based on how many times you've liked their previous posts. We decided already for you who we gonna show on your timeline. And then if there are any spots left on this roundabout, we gonna sell those to the highest bidder. Now the highest bidder has 400 row seats. They are in the audience. Might even be in the dugout as a franchise tag, They everywhere. We in your face. And because we know what your friend's doing when they ain't posting online, we make sure that if they post about something that they going through that looks similar to what you going through, be it good or bad, we gonna make sure that you see that first. So when you get dropped off to play this game of life, be it baseball, basketball, football, soccer, tennis, hockey, whatever it is, you get to decide which team you're gonna be on. Both of the routes look similar. One of them just offers a more immediate return on your investment. You go one way, and I might reward you right now. Don't wait. Why do you want to wait for the kingdom? Enjoy this right now. Come on. Really? We don't even know if tomorrow comes. You know what they say in the Bible. It's in the Bible somewhere where nobody knows when tomorrow's coming. Nobody knows what tomorrow holds, right? So why you hoping, what, dream killer? Either way it go, you got to decide at the crossroads what you gonna do. Now, what is kind of messed up about this situation, this game of life, be it whatever sport it is, you might be on a good team starting out, or you might be on a bad team starting out. And I ain't been watching enough sports right now to know like who's standing where, because we've been in COVID or whatever. But one of my first teams that was a part of our household was the Cowboys. And I'm going to tell you, the Cowboys ain't doing very well right now. They are getting put out the game, right? But there's plenty of teams out there competing. But some of y'all, when y'all get dropped off on a team, genealogy, genetics, heritage, bloodline, however you want to look at it, some of y'all get dropped off and you got drafted, you were first round draft pick, and you showed up and this all they got to offer, this is what you got to work with, right? Good luck. We say you'll be good in about 3 or 5 years. Give him 3 to 5 years. He'll be perfect. Plus they'll get a couple more first round draft picks. So the point is, sometimes you get dropped off and the playing field ain't leveled. So now not only when you get to the crossroads, you might be in a wheelchair, or you might can't read because your schools weren't the best. They ain't really teach you. They just sent you to the corner room in the back and let you come out for lunch if you grew up in that time. Or maybe not only did you get dropped off, and you ended up on the team that got the first round draft pick because they had the worst record for like 5, 6 generations in a row. All of a sudden, you didn't got dropped off. You find out God that gave you these gifts and you were scared to reveal them because you have adopted the narrative that everybody else has said about your team. Every family has a first round draft pick. Every single family. No matter what team you get drafted to. Some of us end up with situations like Tom Brady. Generation after generation, he bringing home Super Bowls. You get drafted to the New England Patriots back then, you were signed up for a good family, but not all of us get dropped off like that. And like my Dallas Cowboys, who my grandmother so loved, they down at quarterback number 3, and they on Tinder, internet, whatever, swiping left and right, trying to figure out who's available in 2020, almost like at the end of the year. Sometimes your star player get knocked down, your first round draft pick get knocked down, and somebody else got to step in, but you choking. You wasn't prepared for the fight because you've been straddling the fence. And they picked you and you thought you was good. You thought you was just going to be able to sit on the in the dugout sideline. Dak is good. Dak held out. Dak held out. I'm hold out for my money. I ain't coming, God, yet. Not yet. I'm going to hold out, right? I'm just putting it out there. But sometimes your first round draft picks are holding out. And so we have to be ready to step up, and that's what's happening, right? Or you can take it to your grave, or let the past be the past. Tell you that ain't what God loved, that ain't what He intended, right? I get it. I get it. I know your pain, child. I know it wasn't fair that you got dropped off like that. You ain't have a say because of the way the agreements was written up, the way the NFL, the sports is set up is that the team who came in last year get to go first. Cat Williams, God said first should be last. He wanted to be last first, right? The way the NFL set up. Every once in a while you catch a break and somebody done traded up because they got something you want. But the truth is, God knows that all of us get dropped off. But if you got chosen, you still ahead of the game because you know all those sperm cells that didn't make it through the gate? That's who left the gate open. I left it open for you. You at the crossroads. It's rocky along the way. Some of y'all just went right on through, depending on where you are. Some people had a couple bumps. Some people look like, based on the post they make, that they was first class the entire way. That's what some people present their story to be. But we all know different. Because until we live in an evil and error-free world, aces will always matter. That's what He revealed to me. And we got to continue to swing for first base, swing for the fences, right? Whenever Satan, notifications, distractions, exes, kids, parents, whatever. Whoever's on the mound trying to distract you from your access to home base, you gotta stay ready for him. That Prescott backup, he kind of choked up. I don't know. I didn't watch the game. Don't let me lie, but all I knew was Ezekiel became a meme the next day. So they now at their third quarterback. So you gotta be ready, not straddling the fence. Is what I understood to tell myself. Like, hey, put it all out there. This is what you got to lose. You know who you got drafted to based on like what college you went to, D1, D2, got drafted or unsigned or unrestricted free agent, whatever your status was, you got dropped off. Everybody get to play. You just gotta decide what you're gonna do when you get to the crossroads. And he said, like, look at the old folk, the ancient people who we get to laugh about, right? Like, let the past be the past. Bring it up, but then let the past be the past. Let's allow ourselves to heal. And figure out why these untold conversations are keeping us from healing. Untold conversations keeping us from healing. We're not talking about it. Jada Pinkett